Hey guys, a bit of a different video today, and one that I was debating on making, which I'll get to in a sec, but nevertheless, today's video is, I guess, a message to Japanese monster taming game developers whom have either left the West or don't produce games internationally. Now, before I get into it, the reason I was debating having this discussion is because we touched on this idea in our 5 monster taming games that we never got video, where we see these really cool games like the 3DS Medabot games, or the Dragon Quest Monster remakes, or even Yokai Watch 4. We see these games that we all really want to play and want to spend our money on, but these titles can only be played if we either emulate or modify our consoles, and a lot of people don't have the means to do this. Over the last couple years, we've seen a spike in interest in monster taming games outside of Pokemon, and honestly, I feel like Japan is not taking advantage of this as much as they should. We've seen countless Kickstarters crush their funding goals. We've seen the success of Monster Hunter Stories 2 and SMT5 in the West. Monster Rancher also made a return, though I can't seem to find sales data for Western countries just yet. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we want your games. I want to play a new Dragon Quest Monster title, or hell, if they remade Terry's Wonderland for Switch, that'd be great too. I want to play Medabots, and I don't want Yokai Watch to start becoming a Japanese exclusive franchise. I want to play and cover new games from these developers, and I have an audience that is hungry for these games as well. I know localization is expensive, and I can totally understand that, and while I love physical media, I also wouldn't be against these companies bringing over their games digitally if that helped with that aspect. Another part of this, however, is also marketing. We've seen with some of the Kickstarters in the genre, for example, they weren't marketed heavily and had issues getting funded as a result. The same could definitely be said about some of these games. Take Medabots, for example. We got 2 sister titles for the GBA, and as a kid, I loved the Medabots anime and would have totally bought these games if I had known they existed. I've seen a lot of people comment on my videos about not knowing about the last Yokai Watch titles that released in the West, and I mean, the genre overall has been overshadowed by Pokemon, but at the same time, we also got to know that these games exist in order to consume them in the first place. Now, I will not pin the blame solely on marketing, because a huge problem that we have had to and continue to face is the Pokemon clone narrative. This idea that any game in the genre can be boiled down to a cheap attempt to copy or emulate the Pokemon success, and I think this is asinine in my opinion, and while many titles are in fact inspired by Pokemon, each creates its own formula and nuances. I can totally understand why the Japanese developers are a lot more abrasive towards releasing their titles in the West because of this narrow-minded perspective that, by the way, is not very prevalent in Japan. Here we have shameless articles bashing games for being nothing more than Pokemon ripoffs, or we have content creators spreading misinformation, and we have a large section of the Pokemon community that are downright hostile to anything that dares to challenge Pokemon. But despite all of that, we've made so much progress in the last 2 years. More devs and content creators are using the correct terminology and spreading awareness of these types of games. I've seen many fans of Pokemon that perhaps were more abrasive in the past are now more open to trying these new games, and we've already seen these types of games getting a lot more attention in the West with each day that passes. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that yes, many games were neglected in the past, and I and many others may have not known about these titles back when they did launch, and even though we can't change the past, we can influence the future, and I think the future is a bright one for the genre and any devs that do manage to get their games localized. So my message to Japanese game developers is, please, if you can, bring your games to the West. I know I'm not a big channel myself, but I will personally make sure to give these types of titles lots of coverage as we do on the channel, and please don't give up on us, because despite the fact that a lot of these beloved franchises and games did not make it here, we haven't given up on you either. But yeah, that's sort of my little rant slash message slash vent for you guys. I normally don't ask you guys to specifically share my videos, though I will say those that do, whether it be on Facebook or Reddit or Discord or whatever, are awesome, and thank you guys for that. But I do want you guys, if you'd be so kind, to share this one around, and who knows, maybe we can get some attention on this subject and perpetuate some sort of level of change, or at least just make it known that we want these games. So if you are someone who feels like they're missing out on Dragon Quest Monsters games, Medabots games, Yokai Watch 4, the plethora of Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh games that we never got, etc., make it known that you do want these games to start coming to the West, and you are someone willing to spend your hard-earned cash on them. I feel like if enough people show interest and game sales for other Japanese games coming to the West in the monster taming genre continue to go up, like we've seen with SMT and Monster Hunter Stories 2, other devs might start bringing over their games, and I think we'll be able to give them love too. Anyways, all that said, if you do like what I do here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because I put out new monster taming videos every single day. You can also follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd. Check out my Discord, all links in in the description. Special thanks to my patrons, especially Dark Persona, Jim Hamilton, and StealCase. And with all that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.